of FPLA Plus.
Hey everyone, FPLA Plus here. The voice that you heard there, that was FPLA Plus Junior, who's a special guest on today's video. So in today's video, what do we have? We will be reviewing game week 11, which seems like ages ago. What we'll also be doing is looking at the possible strategy for game week 12. Like we always do, we'll also be looking at price changes and other FPL players that are hot and cold. And then lastly, what we'll be doing is we'll be looking at what is the transfer strategy for the next few game weeks, just so that we have a plan that's not only short term but long term as well. And then to end off the show, we'll be having the FPLA Plus Super League. But before we get into today's guest, I would just like to ask every one of you if you can please smash the like button and subscribe, put on notifications, and also please subscribe to us on Twitter at FPLA Plus. And if you have not yet joined, please join the FPLA Plus Mini League, which is the FPLA Plus Super League. The link will be included in the description below. Okay, so the highlight of today, we have got a special guest, a very young guest, FPLA Plus Junior. So what we'll be doing is we'll be asking FPLA Plus Junior a couple of questions just to see how young players' thoughts are with regards to FPL. Welcome FPLA Plus Junior. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for inviting me.
It's a pleasure. Great having you on here. So, okay, so I've got 6 questions for you. The first question is, who is your favorite FPL player currently?
My favorite FPL player currently is Mo Salah because he's not only in the form of his life, but he's also a role model as a human being.
Well said, quite impressive. I totally agree with you. That's definitely, I think many people that are not even Liverpool fans are supporting Mo Salah currently. Myself included, I'm a Manchester United fan, but absolutely love Mo Salah for not only what he does on the football pitch, but also for what he does off the pitch as well. Okay, next question. What was your most magical FPL moment?
My most magical moments, there's been a few. However, the one that stands out the most is when Sergio Aguero scored a hat-trick. That was absolutely amazing.
Wow, I remember, yeah, Sergio Aguero, definitely one of my all-time favorite FPL players. And did you captain Sergio Aguero when he scored a hat-trick?
Yes, I did.
Oh, well, great. That feeling is amazing. Okay, next question. Name 3 players that are essential to bring in for game week 12, regardless of budget.
Number 1, I'll go for Harry Kane. Number 2, Heung-min Son. Number 3, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Good choices there, hey? I think definitely 3 very popular players there, and all premium players. So yeah, so good choices there. Next question: what would you say is the most important aspect of FPL strategy in order to make it a success?
Patience. It can make a massive difference, and the most successful managers are patient. Rather make a transfer at the end of the week and pay more than transfer in early and the player gets injured, etc.
Very good. That's very wise words there from a very young player. I definitely must say I've also learned a lot about patience. I myself have been trying to avoid early transfers unless it's absolutely necessary, and I can say keeping a free transfer to give you 2 transfers the next week, as an example, can be a brilliant strategy as a mini wildcard. So very well said there. The next question: which English football team do you support?
Manchester United. We will be back soon, believe me.
Yes, yes, definitely. I'm also a Manchester United fan, and it's very trying times, but the hope is there. And the belief is there. We just need to kind of build up momentum. Something needs to happen. And hopefully that will happen quite soon. So, yeah, so still holding strong. And yeah, hopefully there is light at the end of the tunnel. Next question, which is the last question. Who to captain in game week 12? Harry Kane or Mo Salah? What do you think?
Definitely Mo Salah, even though I believe Harry Kane will do well. There is too much at risk with too many FPL managers captaining Mo Salah that if he does better than Harry Kane, your rank can drop a lot.
Very, very true. Very true. I must say, Mo Salah is kind of almost being captained by. Well, it won't be 100%, never will be 100%, but the way the stats are looking at effective ownership of over 190%, if you double what the value is for captain, it's basically almost everybody. That trend will possibly change, but until that trend changes and until he is no longer in form, I think it's the sensible thing to do. So very well said there. So ladies and gentlemen, the person that you heard there, FPLA Plus Junior, it's a very young gentleman, 13 years old. Just like to thank him again for joining us today. And you're welcome to actually stay on for the rest of the video, and feel free to comment, or otherwise just sit back and relax and enjoy the content.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, in terms of game week 11, which seems almost like it was ages ago, what happened? So as you can see the score on screen, I had a score of 68 points, which was higher than the average of 42 points, which is actually quite a good score if you compare to the average. And that included not taking any hits. So overall, I was actually quite happy. My rank increased from 200 and I can't actually totally remember, was it 250,000, 280,000? But well, let's double check. Rank increased from 228,000 to 142,000, as you can see. So yeah, so kind of almost half the rank, not totally yet, but almost half my rank. So that was actually quite good. In terms of where the bulk of my scoring players are, Cancelo at the back, he was a star. Sanchez unfortunately got a red card that rules him out for the next match, got a -1. Chilwell didn't actually do much for a change. James got a solid assist. It was quite good. Alexander-Arnold, brilliant. I think he actually got 2 assists if I'm not mistaken. Or he actually, well, it looks like he scored a goal. Well, it seems ages ago. So yeah, so the memory is a little bit lagging. Rafinha did well again. Another goal. Mo Salah unfortunately only got an assist, so hence why only 5 points times 2, that's 10. Havertz did actually quite well. So Havertz scored a goal, so that was a surprise to me, but I think he rewarded the managers that actually kept on to him. Antonio, even though there was a very good performance from West Ham, they won Liverpool 3-2. There wasn't any returns for Antonio, but he's still the talisman. He's still going to take over, and he will have his day. Vardy, also disappointing that he did not return. He was in a 1-1 draw, but somehow there was a slight lack of cohesion between the mids and the forwards. He did have a couple of chances, a bit unfortunate, but yeah, and on another day he'll actually score them. And then Foden, also just a 3-pointer with a clean sheet, and nothing else to show for it. But yeah, he remains an absolute class player. So if you're ignoring FPL, just as a footballer, he's one of the top footballers at this stage, and he probably is, I won't say the number one name on the team sheet, but very close to it at this stage. And his stature as a player has definitely soared in the past few months. Okay, so what is the plan for game week 12? Just to get roughly an idea, this is the bus team, so this doesn't include any transfers. I've got 2 free transfers. I've already made 1 transfer. And the only reason I did it was because there was a price rise, and it was a player that did not have any matches that they were going to play in, so there was almost no risk. I brought in Guaita for Sanchez, and the reason for that is that if you look at the fixtures, you'll see that there's green and grey fixtures for Guaita, which is quite good in terms of his prospects to get points. And there's just one red fixture, and then there's again grey and green, as you can see, all the way up till game week 12. So, and the teams that he plays, you can expect quite a few clean sheets in there as well. Crystal Palace are looking quite solid defensively, and they offer even more so as well on attack with Patrick Vieira that's taken over as FPL manager. FPL manager as football manager. Okay, so the transfers that I'm considering, I'll go into that when we go to the live FPL net transfers. But I've got 2 free transfers, so I'm definitely thinking of bringing in some of the players that have got some good fixtures. Okay, then looking at the effective ownership, what is the effective ownership of the top players? Mo Salah, as we mentioned, absolutely rocking it right on top. No one comes close to him, 194% in the top 10k. Alexander Arnold, 83%. Cancelo, 62%. Rafinha, 62%. Foden, 62%. Chilwell, 53%. Ramsdale, 53%. That's the only player I don't currently have besides Mabuemo. Antonio, 53%. James, 51%. And Tony. Also, I don't have him as well. So I'm thinking of Mabuemo at this stage and someone else that I will share with you shortly. So the idea of these players here is to monitor them, to try to get in as much of these players as possible, because if they do well, then your rank will go higher. That's correct. Or if you don't have them in, it can go majorly down. Majorly down because a lot of people have them in. So you might not see a massive rank increase, but you could see a massive decrease if you don't have them in. Okay. Then looking at live FPL net, this is the planner for the next few weeks. Because when you're planning in FPL, remember you're not only making a transfer for 1 week. Because if you were to make a transfer for 1 week, maybe next week the team has got a crap fixture and then you've got to transfer them out. And then you're wasting a player in and out. Okay. So as FPL A Plus Junior mentioned earlier, it's important to have patience, and also patience is linked to strategy. So the plan, as you can see here, is to try to bring in Harry Kane. Okay, Harry Kane has been an absolutely sublime form. I know he played Albania and San Marino, so those are not top teams in international football, but he still managed to score tremendously in both matches. And he's looking like he's got his confidence back. The other benefit of it is, as Late Riser mentioned in the FPL Wire, is that it allows you, if for some reason Kane does not do well, you can move sideways to Cristiano Ronaldo because he's at a similar price point. I think he only costs 0.2 million more, but it's easy to transfer him out. If you had to go for Son is at 10.2 million. There isn't another player in that bracket that is a premium player that if Son doesn't score that you can move to. With Kane, it's a bit easier. Also with Kane, he's on penalties. And Kane has been actually closer to the goal than Son under the new manager, Antonio Conte. So it looks like Kane has got the ability to get in the box. He might have the confidence back if he brings the confidence from England that he's played for into the Tottenham Hotspur team. Then you can see lots of goals for Harry Kane. And the teams that you are playing, if you look at the teams, he's playing Leeds, he's playing Burnley, Brentford, Norwich. Those are all teams that he can actually absolutely haul. And he can actually score a hat-trick. Yeah, he can definitely crush them. And as FPL A Plus Junior thinks he's going to crush them. So you heard it first here. Harry Kane is going to be crushing those teams. As you heard it there from FPL A Plus Junior. Do you think he's going to get a hat-trick?
I think he's going to score 4 goals.
4 goals. Wow. Okay. So he's going to repeat what he did for England. So very wise words there from FPL A Plus Junior. So that's great. Okay. Then let's look at the next game week because we're managing our transfers by each game week, but we're making sure we've got a plan. The one transfer I failed to mention is I did mention earlier that we will have brought in Guaita for Sanchez. I brought in Mabuemo for Havertz. Okay, so Mabuemo would be in the team. In terms of game week 13, the transfer is, and this is the other reason, that there is lots of mids that are looking good. So I can transfer out Rafinha because if you look at Rafinha's fixtures, he's got strong defensive teams, Brighton and Crystal Palace. Then he's got an okay fixture, Brentford. And then as you can see, the dark colour, he's got Chelsea and Manchester City and Arsenal. So those are going to be tough fixtures. Yes. So even though he could score a goal, Rafinha is world class, but he's unlikely to score a hat-trick. So if you have got a top player against a very top team, are you going to keep that player, or are you going to bring in a very good player who's not playing a very good team? Because that will give you a better opportunity to actually score more goals, more hat-tricks, and more assists. Exactly. So that could mean more FPL points. Okay. So remember, FPL A+, we're here to give you an A+. So that is the type of transfer that could give you an A+ in your FPL score. So if you look at this, is the proposed team. As you can see, strong overall, very good defenders, they can all score. You look at the midfielders, they're playing all relatively decent or easy fixtures. And then we've got Wang on the bench, he's playing Norwich. Norwich have got a new manager. They were one of the teams that was quite not very good. So with a new manager, there comes new manager bounce. So they might not be as bad, but often it happens for a short while and then they fall away. So it doesn't mean that Wang can't score, because on paper, Wang should have a good chance. And then Antonio is playing Chelsea. So Chelsea being quite good defensively, Antonio is probably going to go on the bench. Okay, you agree with that, FPL A+ Junior?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then let's look at the next game week. The next game week we have is game week 14. Okay, so we'll just do 2 more game weeks after that. So game week 14, we have got, as you can see, the defenders all very strong. You don't need to change them. The goalkeepers playing Leeds. That could be a clean sheet. Mo Salah, we've got Jota playing Everton. Everton have been very poor defensively. Harry Kane is playing Brentford. Then Antonio playing Brighton. This is a tricky one. It's between Antonio and Wang. But Antonio can play brilliant. Wang,
I would rather go for Antonio.
You think so? Okay, yeah. Great. I think so too. Antonio is a classy player. West Ham are also scoring lots of goals. So he'll have more opportunities. Not only because of himself, but because his team is attacking. So yeah, thank you very much for that. So FPL A+ Junior agrees with me on that. And then Wang on the bench. Wang will always be very good. So if one of the players doesn't play, so if Pep decides to rest Foden for that match, or not play, or Chilwell doesn't play, or anyone is injured, then you've got a very good player coming off the bench. So always very good to have that. And then we've got Livramento, who is a very cheap defender, but he has been playing very good and has been actually getting clean sheets. Then Allen is just the bench fodder, but Livramento can also, if you've got another injury or a player not starting, Livramento can come on. Okay, so then let's move on to game week 15. Let's just see what the plan is there. Okay, so with game week 15, we've then got 2 free transfers. So the idea is then to possibly bring in, let's just see, the plan is to bring in, for game week 15, instead of Allen, we bring in, we're strengthening the bench, Emile Smith-Rowe. Okay, he plays for Arsenal. Arsenal's fixtures, pretty decent. Everton, Southampton, West Ham, Leeds, Norwich, Wolves. Okay.
It's quite simple.
Yeah, it should be quite easy, hopefully, or quite achievable that he can score a goal. Okay, and then the other player we're bringing in to fund that, we're basically having our cheap player that's not going to play really, Davis. He's replacing Wang. So we're just switching it around. Instead of having Wang, as you can see, Wolves' fixtures are looking dark. That means it's quite tough.
Yes.
So why do you want to keep a player on the bench that's got all those tough fixtures if you're almost never going to play him? You might as well make the switch. Okay, so yeah, so that's the plan. And then let's look at the next game week. Okay, so now we've got a bit of a twist here. The next game week, okay? This is where the fixtures start turning, okay? And as you can see, you need to look for the greens. Man City has got quite a few green fixtures.
Quite easy matches.
That should be very easy matches, but we've already got 2 Manchester City players, okay? Man United, they've also got lots of green fixtures. We never had any Manchester United players. So, do you think it's a good idea to bring in Manchester United players, FPLA Plus Junior?
Definitely, because Ronaldo is a good soccer player, and also he has quite easy matches, so he's going to score a hat-trick, definitely.
Okay, now great comment there, FPLA Plus Junior. So the proposal is for game week 16, even though it could change. This is just to give you an idea. None of this is kind of fixed, but the idea and the plan is that you can bring in Ronaldo instead of Kane. Kane fixtures are okay. They're not brilliant. Brighton, Leicester, Liverpool, but Ronaldo's is green. They look very good, very tasty. So why not bring in that player? Okay, and he is at a very similar price. And then also, the idea is that Jota has got, let's look at Liverpool. Liverpool have got, well, they've got okay fixtures. So this transfer is a luxury transfer. This is maybe one that might have a rethink. But the idea is to swap Jota for Greenwood because there's 2 free transfers. But you could also keep Jota, and then you could use the other free transfer next week. But it's still early days for this. This is only in game week 16. But it just gives you an idea that if you do want to seize on Man United assets, then you might as well. Okay, so yeah, so that's the plan. That'll give you a good idea. Then let's just have a look at, let's refresh what's happening with price rises tonight. Whose price is increasing? Gallagher, quite a popular player, Crystal Palace. His price is rising, most likely. With a lot of people playing the wild card, his price was due to rise the last 2 nights, but it didn't. So it should definitely be rising at some point before game week 12, I believe. James, if you haven't got him in, bring him in. Ramsdale, he's also been a very popular keeper. And then some of the other players not as popular. The one that is probably getting attention is Wilson from Newcastle, Caleb Wilson, who with a new manager that's managed him before, he could be a brilliant player as well to bring in. And then also another player from West Ham that's quite cheap, 6.3 million, and that is Bowen, Jared Bowen. He's been also in very good form. He's actually, the past few weeks, scored more goals than Antonio. So he could also be a cheap route into West Ham. He costs less and he's been on form. However, just be wary that his ownership is not as much. So if you are owning, not owning Antonio, you would be a differential. If you are owning Antonio and Bowen, that could be a brilliant combination. Okay, and then last but not least, let's have a look at the FPLA Plus Super League, the top 10. Who is actually heading the FPLA Plus Super League? Number 1, we have got Dollar Bill Stern, who is on top with 754 points. Very well done, Dollar Bill Stern. Then breathing down your neck, we've got Selim Mello in second place, who just moved down. You swap positions with 751 points, so still doing very well. Number 3, we've got Sanjay Khatri on 746 points. Number 4, we have got FPL Experts, who's also moved up. We've got number 5, Jordan Awakani. Number 6, we've got Roger Williams. Number 7, we've got Obina Okoli. Number 8, we've got Shack Attack United. Number 9, we have got Perfect Nobody, Ahmed Chori. Number 10, we have got Omandi Eliazar. So well done everybody that's in the top 10. For those not in the top 10, I'm sure you will all have a very good opportunity to get there if you keep on watching these videos. And those in the top 10, all the best for the top spots that you are fighting it out. And I'm sure there will be much more competition for people to get into the top 10. So if you haven't joined the FPLA Plus Super League, the link will be included in the description below. It's very easy. And yeah, so feel free to join. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please follow us on Twitter at FPLA Plus. and also put on notifications so that you can get our future video notifications. So that's it from me. I'd like to have a special thanks to my guest FPLA Plus Junior. Thank you very much again. Hope you enjoyed the video.
I enjoyed it, yes.
Great. Thank you very much, everybody, and all the best for Game Week 12.